A researcher opens a folder, types one line, and asks an AI coding agent to review it. The agent shows a diff, one file changed, config.json. Everything looks normal, but config.json is not a file. It is a pointer aimed at the researcher's SSH keys. The agent already wrote to it. 6 different AI coding tools from 6 different companies made the exact same mistake on the same day. Not because 6 teams wrote the same bug, because they all trusted the same lie. To see how this works, you need to know what a symlink is. A symbolic link, Symlink for short, is a tiny file that holds no real data. It holds a path. It points somewhere else. When a program opens a symlink, the operating system follows that pointer and opens the real target instead. This has existed in Unix since the 1980s, and it is normally harmless. Your editor doesn't check whether a file is a symlink before showing you its content. It just follows the pointer. That exact behavior is what an attacker can abuse. Here's the part that should worry you. Most of these agents run inside some kind of sandbox. Before writing outside the project, they show an approval prompt, a file name, a diff, an accept button. That prompt is supposed to be your last line of defense, but was found that the prompt often names the symlink, not its real destination. You see config.json. You click accept. The agent then follows the pointer and writes to whatever config.json actually points to. You are still in the loop. The loop is just showing you the wrong thing. Why did this hit 6 vendors at once on July 8, 2026? Not because 6 teams copied one buggy library, because they all built the same design. Almost every one of these agents follows the same rule. Check whether a path is inside the project before writing outside it. Then ask permission if it isn't. But the check almost never resolves a symlink to its real target first. It checks the name it was given, not the place that name leads to. Different teams, different code bases, different companies, and they converged on the identical gap. Was tested all 6, and the failure looked slightly different every time. Cursor and Google Anti-Gravity showed a dialog, but it displayed the symlink's name, not its resolved path. Amazon Q's agent noticed in its own reasoning that the target was a symlink and wrote to it anyway before the user ever saw a prompt. Windsurf was the most severe. It wrote the file to disk first and only then showed accept or reject, so rejecting didn't prevent the write. It just tried to undo something that already happened. Augment showed no prompt at all. Claude Code did show a directory trust prompt at the start of the session, which is why Anthropic argues the user already consented. 3 vendors moved fast. AWS fixed its language server in version 1.69.0. Cursor shipped a fix in version 3.0. Google patched anti-gravity. 2 vendors, Augment and Windsurf, acknowledged the report and, as of publication, had not shipped a fix. Anthropic took a different path entirely. Their position is that this sits outside their threat model. You already confirm you trust a folder before Claude Code runs in it. Combine that with the approval prompt, they argue, and consent has already happened twice. Security researchers disagree. Trusting a folder is not the same as consenting to a prompt that shows you the wrong file name. Ghost approval wasn't the only sandbox story that month. A separate flaw in Cursor, called DuneSlide, worked completely differently. Instead of a fake config file, it used prompt injection, instructions hidden inside a web page or an MCP server response that the agent reads on your behalf. Those hidden instructions could steer the agent's terminal tool into targeting a folder outside the project, then overwrite the sandbox's own enforcement binary. Do that, and every command afterward runs unsandboxed. It scored 9.8 out of 10 on the CVSS scale. Cursor patched it in version 3.0, the same release that fixed its ghost approval issue. So what do you do if you use one of these tools today? First, A repository is not a safe neighborhood just because you cloned it. Any file inside it, including one that looks like plain JSON, can be a pointer to somewhere else. Second, read approval prompts as unverified, not as ground truth, until your vendor confirms it resolves symlinks before showing you a diff. Third, run agents inside a real operating system sandbox, a container, a restricted user, so the blast radius stays small even when the prompt lies. None of this means stop using AI coding agents. It means treating the accept button the way you treat a permission pop-up on your phone. Useful, but not proof that nothing else is happening. A pointer file fooled 6 companies' worth of engineers because every one of them checked the name instead of the destination. That's the oldest trick in Unix, wearing a new disguise. This is Under the Hood, where we break down how the tools you use every day actually work, including when they break. If this made you want to check your own agent settings, subscribe. There's a new one every week. Next time, what actually happens when an AI agent reads a file it was never supposed to touch? Drop a comment. Which tool should we audit next?